Mm, 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 it- End results. I guess so, but it will have to wait till the end of this Night Vale episode, which has how much longer? Well, it's only 6 minutes out of 29 minutes, but I can save it till then. I'll copy this and save it in the background for later. Oh, electronic funds transfer. Probably. Probably, maybe is what that means. Oh, that means electronic funds transfer. Mm, 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 mm. Nice. Yeah, having direct deposit sounds a lot safer anyway. I used to help Dad do his exchanges and withdrawals and stuff like that. I'm pretty used to those systems. They're not too hard to figure out. You'll be fine. It's probably a lot more user friendly these days, or at least I would hope so. Even back in the day, doing cell phone fidelity was pretty easy. So you'll be fine. You can figure it out. That makes sense. It is good to have like the convenience of direct deposit is nice, especially if you have like trouble getting somewhere. But if you're able to just walk there, that sounds like a nice little walk. It's good to have like as a just in case option. I usually find. Mm, mm-hmm. Mm. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I've been with a credit union for like several years now. I like them. Mm. Uh, that clip of BMO from Adventure Time being a little robber, and he was like, "Bang, bang, give me your bank account." And then he falls over. They got your bank account. Maybe. Yeah, BMO definitely feels like beyond gender. Just a little guy. A little heckin' robot. Mm. Oh, even though it's like in the middle of the episode? If you just want to hear Cecil's voice, that makes sense.
But instead of being pleased with herself, she looked concerned. "Where's Esteban?" she asked. We all froze. I gasped, seeing an empty spot at the coffee table where Esteban was only moments ago. Then we heard Esteban. He was standing at the kitchen entrance, proudly holding up his drawing. He pointed at the tree and asked, "I drew Grandpa Gershwin?" The branches weren't even visible on the paper anymore. The tree had grown so large, it even blocked a part of the house from view. I could hear the sounds of owls somewhere, like tin cans in a plastic bag.
Yeah, they're really stressed out right now, right? So that makes sense.
Let's go now to the weather.
Don't worry, the weather is here. Yeah, most of my friends have to like listen to something to fall asleep to, whether it's like video game let's plays or have a streamer on or creepypasta narrations or Night Vale or something. I have the opposite problem where if there's like music or something playing, my brain will want to listen to it, so I can't fall asleep. So I can't use that trick. But it's a pretty common thing. Also, a lot of my friends have severe anxiety and they can't go like 10 seconds of just chilling out without like grabbing their phone and checking TikTok or something, because they just need something there. It's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just like a symptom of anxiety, you know? Well, the TV is kind of more passive, right? The laptop, there's so many options. Even if your phone, there's like things you can do and stuff that you can stay engaged with. The TV is just like there's a sound on, comfortable background noises. I mean, that sounds nice. I usually need some kind of background noise when I'm working on something. Sometimes whatever song I have stuck in my head that'll be good enough, but sometimes it helps to have one of my long-ass video essays on or something. Don't save progress check. By that time, will television even exist? Now, I'm sure some people will still like television. So you gotta do that. You could pull up the 24-hour Cartoon Network, old vintage cartoon streaming service or whatever. Maybe it'll be really cool and have a bunch of pirated old cartoons on DVDs and just have them in like a massive disc changer or something. On an old flash drive.
El martes 7 de julio, la espera termina. Operación Triunfo llega a Telemundo. Miles respondieron al
It's interesting how
llamado.
I'm getting like Telemundo ads now on here.
Pero solo unos pocos llegarán a la gala cero.
Aquí todo el mundo está ready. Aquí hay nivel.
¿Quiénes serán los elegidos?
Me voy a ganar mi lugar en la gala cero.
Descúbrelo en el gran estreno de Operación Triunfo Estados Unidos. Martes 7 de julio por Telemundo y Peacock.
I don't remember how much time passed. This part of the evening was a bit of a blur, but eventually we put away Scrabble. No one correctly spelled the name of God, but Steve got closest when he guessed Pete. That was worth 693 points and a volcano eruption in Croatia, and Steve won the game. We switched to Trivial Pursuit Imaginary Edition. I'm pretty good at Trivial Pursuit, well, at least at some of the categories, like animals that don't exist, what Tony Blair smells like, and movies that were never made, but I'm terrible at the geography questions. We played that for a bit. Janice talked about how school was going. She's working on a sports medicine degree. Steve got a lucrative job offer from a competitor, but he really likes the team he's built at his current employer. Steve is nothing if not loyal. And Abby, well, Abby's Abby. We love each other, but I don't know if we like each other. Still, when Steve came along, then later Janice, then Carlos, and now Esteban, it's gotten easier between Abby and me. We have more than each other on our minds when it comes to family. Carlos and I ended up beating Steve, Abby, and Janice in Trivial Pursuit. Even better, we won it on a geography question that I got correct. The question was, if there was a continent called Blurp, how many countries would it have? I said 19 without even thinking, and I was spot on. Lucky guess. We hugged Steve, Abby, and Janice goodbye and carried our sleeping Esteban up to bed. I told Carlos I wanted to stay up a bit, and he said goodnight and gave me a kiss. I dug through our scrapbooks and albums again, looking for any photo or letter or card, anything about our dad. It felt like a full hour of scouring through these old books before I heard Carlos say, "Cecil, are you still up?" I turned around and saw that it was dawn. Carlos was in the kitchen making a salmon and blueberry smoothie to start the workday. I made myself some coffee and toast. As I did, I admired Esteban's drawing once again. In the morning light, I saw the color had returned, as had the flowers and the dove and the happy family of three on the porch. Carlos put his chin on my shoulder from behind and said, "He's going to be a hand-to-God artist one day, isn't he? Look at that composition. I see something new every time I look at it." I said, "Yep, me too." It wasn't a pleasant tone, impatient, annoyed. Carlos asked, "You okay, hon?" "Not really," I replied. "I thought Abby was finally going to tell me the story of my dad. She said she would, but like always, she changed the subject. I don't understand why she does that to me." Carlos stared into my eyes for several silent seconds, a concerned but compassionate stare. Finally, he said, "Oh, babe, she did. We stopped Scrabble for like 30 minutes to hear her story. To be honest, I've heard her tell it so many times to you, it's growing a bit dull. Do you not remember?" I did not. The sunrise cast long golden stripes across the fridge, and I thought, and I thought, and I thought. I could hear owls in the crisp morning air, like a flower pot shattering. Stay tuned next for the 200 greatest ad jingles of all time, presented to you commercial-free. Good night, Night Vale. Good night.
Welcome to Night Vale is a production of Night Vale Presents. It is written by Joseph Fink, Jeffrey Craner, and Bree Williams, and produced by Disparition. The voice of Night Vale is Cecil Baldwin. Original music by Disparition. All of it can be found at disparition.bandcamp.com. This episode's weather was All the Way Down by Palimony. Find out more at facebook.com/palimonymusic. Comments, questions, email us at info@welcometonightvale.com or follow us on Instagram and Tumblr at Night Vale Official. We now have a TikTok at Night Vale Official as well, if you are all about that vertical video life. Most importantly, check out welcometonightvale.com, where we have a twice-monthly mailing list that is the best way to keep up to date directly from us to you. It's time that we made the internet about people talking directly to people again. You can learn about things like our live show, The Attic. A tour of North America is starting today. If you live in Toronto, the Midwest, or the Northeast, look into that before it's too late. Today's proverb: you can lead a horse to water, but don't be surprised when that horse splits in half and 2 federal agents pop out and arrest you for trespassing in the Dasani factory.
God, who did that song? Right. Relatable song for you. I don't know how loud it'll be.
I ponder of something great. My lungs will fill and then deflate. They fill with fire, exhale desire. I know it's dire, my time today. I have these thoughts so often I ought to replace that slot with what I once bought. Cause somebody stole my car radio and now I just sit in silence. Sometimes quiet is violent. I find it hard to hide it. My pride is no longer inside. It's on my sleeve, my skin will scream, reminding me of who I killed inside my dream. I hate this car that I'm driving. There's no hiding for me. I'm forced to deal with what I feel. There is no distraction to mask what is real. I could pull the steering wheel. I have these thoughts so often I ought to replace that slot with what I once bought. Cause somebody stole my car radio and now I just sit in silence. Of something terrifying, cause this time there's no sound to hide behind. I find over the course of our human existence, one thing consists of consistence, and it's that we're all battling fear. Oh dear, I don't know if we know why we're here. Oh my, too deep, please stop thinking. I liked it better when my car had sound. There are things we can do, but from the things that work there are only 2, and from the 2 that we choose to do, peace will win and fear will lose. There's faith and there's sleep. We need to pick one, please, because faith is to be awake, and to be awake is for us to think, and for us to think is to be alive. And I will try with every rhyme to come across like I am dying to let you know you need to try to think. I have these thoughts so often I ought to replace that slot with what I once bought. Cause somebody stole my car radio and now I just sit in silence.
Oh dang. Do a surgery! Oh, yeah, like a lumbar fusion. My dad had one of those. Real vegetable recovery.
I find her of something great. My lungs will fill and then deflate.
Edgy goth
They fill with
boys.
fire, exhale desire.
Yeah,
I know
someone's
it's dire,
archetype
my
characters
time's
for
today.
an archetype attack
I
gun.
have these thoughts so often I yacht to replace that slot with what I once bought. Cause somebody stole my car radio and now I just sit in silence.
Yeah, he'll probably be fine. Prison Tycoon 3 Lockdown. Probably good for him to have a bit of a vibe check. You can't just take people for granted and expect them to be there forever. I only go help out my dad when I have to. Okay, real quick before this, I'm gonna check that wash to see if that dye job is done. If it is, I gotta put the color fixative in to keep all the purple into the fabric. If it's not done, I'll be back in a second. Ow. Oh yeah, he'd probably just pull the whole leg. Oh, woe is me, why are you being so mean to me?
I've not seen such bravery.
In 2011, Matt Damon bought a zoo. Now that brings his total number of zoos
I
up
didn't
to
recognize
1,
him for a
while
second.
my
He looks
total
like
number of
such a
zoos is still
baby.
0. Now, using some complicated math, we can arrive to the conclusion that that is total bullshit. But the day I let Matt Damon beat me is the day that I die, so I guess it's time to buy a zoo. But wait, that would just make me as good as Matt Damon. I want to be better than him. So let's build a zoo.
Good for
No,
him.
wait, we can do better. What's better than a zoo full of animals? How about a zoo full of people? Is that insensitive?
There are 5 Prison Tycoon games, and I picked the one right in the middle because why not, right? Prison Tycoon 3 was released in 2007 and was developed by Virtual Playground, who made, this thing? And it was published by a company called ValueSoft, which sounds like some kind of Walmart brand pillow. When you first boot up the game, you're greeted by these three lovely people. This guy is kind of creeping me out, which is unfortunate because he's also hanging out down here. At the main menu, we're given the teeny tiny options of free play mode, challenge mode, load game, and quit. I guess we'll take a ride on the magic prison bus to free play mode, and Jesus Christ! If he clenched his teeth any harder, he'd bite right through his jaw. Wow. You know, normally I would bash these graphics because of how awful and barren everything looks, but this is a prison game, and a lot of prisons are just out in the middle of nowhere. In fact, Prison Tycoon 3 might actually provide more exciting environments than actual prisons. I mean, this thing looks kind of fun, I guess. So a helicopter flies in and lands, and I'm not quite sure what to do here. There's no instruction given, so the only way to figure out how the game works is through trial and error. Looks like this here is the build button, and my prison is in need of some buildings, since right now all it consists of this gate here without a fence, which would be fantastic right now if we were working on a jail that ran on the honor system. Alright, prisoners need a place to sleep, I guess, so we can build some dormitories. I still can't figure out how to build fences though, so these two guard towers will have to do. I'll put a building here and put a building here because, yeah, I totally know what I'm doing. Oh, and I gotta build some small amenities because, I mean, how else are prisoners going to survive without amenities? And as the buildings rise from the depths of hell, the construction of the Hell Prison is complete. Only I still don't know how to build fences, so it's more like Satan's honor system Hell Prison. From hell. So now I'm wondering how I actually get prisoners to show up at my prison. I mean, I've got a pretty badass prison here if I do say so myself. There's guard towers and dormitories and this building and small amenities. And it looks like we've got our first 5 prisoners. Don't ask me how because I have no idea. There's Sean Richardson, arrested for jaywalking. Winston White, arrested for reckless widow's peak. Delroy Crisp, arrested for having a name that just sounds like the name of a bank robber. And the notorious loiterers Winston Begum and Andrew Andrews, who look eerily the same. Wait, Andrew Andrews? What kind of cruel parents names their kid Andrew Andrews? My apologies to anyone out there named Andrew Andrews. It turns out that prison is a lot like summer camp. Everyone walks into the cabin and lays in a bunk to claim it. Then they just kind of sit around and talk. It looks like they're actually having a pretty good time. Oh shit, we got a runner, boys. Yeah, that's right. And they said we couldn't run a prison without fences. Now he's locked back in his room. Well, he'll never, holy hell. Well, there he goes. Nothing I can do about it now. He never even gave my prison a chance. For all he knows, Satan's honor system Hell Prison from Hell could have been a pretty good time. But even with our loss, life at the prison slowly returns to normal. The prisoners are getting assigned some fun arts and crafts-like activities such as chain gang to hopefully reshape them into respectable young men when they leave camp. I mean prison. These guys really don't seem like they want to leave their room though. I mean, I know these beds are comfortable, boys, but this is prison. It's a time to try new things and enjoy life. We've got amenities here for God's sake. Ah, son of a bitch. What if I just made a line of guard towers here? You gotta
I
be
like his
kidding
VHS
me.
videos.
Please, just stay for like 5 seconds and I'll... Damn. Well, every single one of my prisoners escaped, and I got game over. Rightly so. I mean, I did just release 5 criminals back into the world. But wait, that's not why I lost. I lost because apparently I ran out of money? I didn't even know money was a factor in this game. Well, that was enough training. I'm probably ready for a challenge mode level, right? So challenge 1 is, god damn, why is all the text in this game so fucking small? They've got all this space here for text, but they're just like, you know, that looks good and all, but let's just go with this. Anyway, the challenge is to have 10 prisoners in a prison at the end of 3 years. Now, I'm not really a prison genius or anything, but 10 prisoners sounds like a pretty low bar to set for a prison. I think I'll be able to handle it. Ah, god damn it. Hey look, our prison already has a fence. In honor of this incredible news, we'll call this prison Fenceland. Visit Fenceland for the soft beds and the scenic guard towers. Our brand new amenities include a spacious small TV room, a giant small chapel, a huge small gym, and a fully loaded small game room. We also have a brand new cafeteria housed inside a brand new fence because we finally figured out how to build fences. Fenceland. Come because the judge said so. Don't escape because of the fence. Looks like our 6 prisoners arrived safely, and after lounging in bed for a little while, they all waddled towards the amenities building. It looks like they all really like the gym. Like they are fucking obsessed with the gym. They keep leaving it for a second, then going back like, wow, you know what I like to do after a long workout? Another workout? Yeah!
Totally not shady at all.
This is actually kind of ridiculous. I've got the game speed as high as it will go, and this is all they want to do. At one point, one of the prisoners went back to their dorm to rest, only to have a guard force him to go back to the gym. You go back and work out right now!
Fine, man, I was just going back to the gym anyway.
And even when they're not working out, they're thinking about working out, talking about working out, praying about working out, watching workout videos. The list never ends. Look at the way these guys are walking. They have barely left the gym since they got here, and they're walking like they're either starving or they just got too much swag. Okay. So it turns out that when I put in the gate to the cafeteria, I never actually opened it. That would kind of explain why everyone is walking around looking like their stomach is actually trying to eat itself. It only takes a few moments after opening the gate for someone to come limping over for food, but you will get no food. Ah, alright. Come on and get something to eat, you crazy criminals. But if I'm paying to feed you, then I'm no longer going to pay for the gym. That's right. What are you gonna do without your precious gym? Aw, you son of a bitch. Okay, you know what? I'm revoking eating privileges too. Get the fuck back to your dorms. Oh, so you're just gonna lay there now? No more dorms for you. What are you gonna do now? Socializing? Not in my prison you aren't. A fence here and a fence here, and it looks like everything is set up to play America's favorite game show, Which Prisoner Lives? Contestant number 1 is Vincent Smith, a lively 62-year-old from Morris, Connecticut. He's here on a charge of resisting arrest after attempting to steal a bag of Werthers. He's known for his trademark catchphrase, I want a Werthers. Contestant number 2 is Andrew Miller, a 32-year-old visiting from Addison, Alabama, where he got arrested for being too fly for a white guy. A charge that he claims is, and I quote, bullshit. Contestant number 3 is 46-year-old Patrick Smith, a shoplifter from Barden, Tennessee. His interests include going to the gym, and that's it. Contestant number 4 is Homer Joey Howit. Fuck that last name, I hope he loses. And the game has begun. The objective of this game is simple, of course. Be the last prisoner alive. It looks like Vincent ended up getting the random police officer, which could be a problem if Vincent wants to break into a rendition of Fuck the Police. A few hours in, and it looks like all of our contestants have the same strategy. Instead of sitting down and conserving their energy, they're just kind of wandering around. Their physical states seem to be ranging from starving to death to straight up gangsta. Oh my, it looks like Patrick Smith is climbing the fence. If he sets foot on the other side, that's an automatic disqualification. Well,
Yeah,
looks
I
like
think it's a
Patrick has
really
been disqualified, leaving us with just 3
ridiculous
contestants. It appears that both
That's
Andrew Miller
easily,
and Homer
what's the
Wojciechowicz are crawling on the ground in an apparent attempt to cut down on their wind
Taking
resistance.
advantage
This would
of?
be a fantastic
Sorta?
strategy if they were running a
Literally
race in
anything
which
can
they
be
weren't allowed to use their
resisting
legs.
arrest, even if someone
Unfortunately,
just, like,
it doesn't
talking.
provide any advantage in this particular game.
Homer is out. I repeat, Homer is out. That's right, folks. We're down to only 2 contestants, and it looks like Vincent might... Yes, he's done it. Vincent is the winner of this week's game. Tell him what he's won, Bob. Nothing.
So suck on that, Matt Damon.
Hello and welcome to my horrible outro card. Please pardon its ugly appearance. It is in a transition phase. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, you might also enjoy my Bad Rats video, or my video on Let's Explore the Airport. You should also check out my Twitter, where I say funny things like this, and I have a Facebook as well. So visit those, and I'll be, seeing you later. You know what I mean. I don't know what I mean.
Don't you autoplay on me? Mm. More Night Vale. Where did I? Oh, I closed it. More Night Vale.
Howdy, Night Vale. It is me, Jeffrey Craner, and I'm here to tell you about Camp Night Vale. We're doing a weekend-long writer's workshop in Santa Fe, New Mexico on March 5th through the 7th, 2027. This workshop is for writers of all kinds who want to spend a weekend in the desert with me and my Night Vale co-creator, Joseph Fink, doing guided writing exercises, participating in group discussions and readings, and some other fun activities that are yet to be announced. So, by the way, this thing is only open to a maximum of 20 in-person students. Registration opens June 16th for paid Patreon members, and if you are a Weird, Scout, or higher level
I think this
Patreon
was
member,
from
you
like
get
a little
$50
while
off your
ago, though,
tuition.
right?
Registration
I
is
didn't
going
catch
to
up on
open to
this
the general public
till like
on
literally
June
right
18th.
now.
Get more info at
When was this
welcometonightvale.com/Camp Night Vale. See y'all in the desert. Also, speaking
When
of
was
my
this
Night Vale
episode?
co-writer, Joseph Fink wrote a horror novella called The Nudge. It's coming in
Since
September,
at least
and I
April.
I need you to pre-order it now.
Oh, he said
The print
2020, so
version
yeah.
of The Nudge will feature terrifying illustrations by Jessica Hayworth in the tradition
Honestly,
of the
I hear their
infamous
promos during
illustrations
these old
and Stories to
episodes,
Tell
and
in
I'm
the
like,
Dark.
it's an old
And the
episode.
audiobook,
That's not coming out.
that
That's like
version will
already
be read by
passed,
Kevin
and I
Refree
didn't
and
realize it
Cecil
was coming
Baldwin.
up. I
So
just didn't
choose
even
what
hear
level
him
of
say
terror you're up
2027.
for. Finally,
My brain
there is some
filtered it
amazing
out.
summer Night Vale merch in our store.
But yeah, I guess
Welcome
they're
to
doing
nightvale.com. Click on store. You get
writer's
beach
workshop,
towels,
so
water
that's cool.
bottles, tank tops, dog collars, plus all the classic merchy things you love, like shirts, hoodies, posters, and even blankets. That's welcome to nightvale.com. Click
It'd
on
be so
store.
cool if
And
Abonicon
hey,
could get
thanks.
Joseph Fink and Jeffrey
The
Craner to
Antiquarium
come
of
to an
Sinister
event.
Happenings and Odd Goings On. Step into a mysterious curio shop where every relic hides a dark secret. The Antiquarium of Sinister Happenings is a weekly, multi-award-winning full-cast horror anthology featuring the talents of Mike Flanagan, Kate Siegel, David Desmalchin, Jessica Roth, Devin Sawa, Jocelyn Donahue, and more. But the Antiquarium is more than just a horror podcast. With hidden messages, secret clues, decoder rings, and even a scratch and sniff episode, the Antiquarium is more than a podcast. It's an experience. If you love atmospheric horror, immersive storytelling, and mysteries that extend beyond the final scene, your
this
next
episode's like
obsession
weirdly
is waiting. Find the
quiet.
Antiquarium of Sinister Happenings on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen, and begin your journey at theobsidiancovenant.com from the Bloody Disgusting Podcast Network.
Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price, no guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life, on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hey, it's Jeffrey Craner. 2 disclaimers before you listen to today's episode. First, this episode contains a couple of moments of casual swearing in case you're listening with kids. Second, if you haven't listened to episode 245 yet, I recommend you do that before listening to this episode. All right, that's all. Here's episode 246.
I'll tell you again, but please try not to forget this time, Cecil. This is a story about him. Mom never acknowledged Dad. It's not that she didn't mention him or didn't want to talk about him. Yes, those things, but also when I would ask questions about him, she would change the subject or go quiet. Sometimes I pressed her harder, but she wouldn't bite. I would say, "Mom, stop ignoring the question. Where is our dad?" And she would say something like, "You really shouldn't smoke, Abby." And I'd find myself telling her, "I don't smoke. I've never smoked." And she'd say, "I can smell it on you. Bad habit. Bad habit." And then she'd stare at the wall with translucent eyes. It didn't matter how I tried to approach the topic. I always fell into that trap. She would put me on my heels. My attempts to interrogate her would end in her questioning me about something completely unrelated. You know how it is. I remember when you were 16, you tried to borrow the car to go out with what's-his-name. And 20 minutes later, she had you repairing the leaky bathroom faucet instead of going on your date. She was good at that sort of thing. I spent years trying to find a picture of our dad. I dug through photo albums and scrapbooks. I even waited until late at night when Mom had passed out from excess. I rifled through her dresser and even her purse. No pictures of him anywhere. I believed for a long time that maybe I imagined him. That we had no father. That can't be true, though. I know we have a father, and I know it's the same man for you and me. Look at us. We have matching noses with these thin bridges and the upturn at the tip. And we share dimples. Mom didn't have those features. We look alike well beyond our mother.
Pretty sure she's your mom.
I can't remember Dad's face, though, and I should. I would have been old enough to see a dad around before you were born. I should have some kind of visual, but nothing. That doesn't mean I don't remember him. I do remember someone else in our house besides Mom. I remember a voice, a presence, a smell, a temperature. I know he was there. When I was 4, I was lifted into the air. I could see Mother across the room glowering. I squealed as I was raised and lowered. There was a voice laughing along with me, deep and resonant, more of a vibration than a sound. Mom never cracked a smile, and I never saw the face of the one who flew me around the living room like a helicopter. But I could feel his joy. It sticks with you, like a chill deep in your bones.
A little bit, thanks.
I don't need a picture of something to know those moments were real. Like, we can't photograph love, but we know it's there. There are no pictures of hurt, but we feel it deeply. To this day, there's not been a single picture taken of Taylor Swift, but we know she's a real person who sings incredible songs. I get goose flesh every time I hear her version of the Macarena. You believe me. I know you do. Even though Dad, or whatever he was, disappeared right after you were born. You didn't experience him in the house. You felt him there, I'm sure, but not actually there, but I did. I'm sorry to bring this up again, though I know you'll forget it, like you always do. I blamed you for many years for his leaving. I was a kid, of course, and I didn't know any better. All I understood was that you were born, and suddenly the presence I called Dad disappeared. Maybe you had something to do with it. I don't know. We'll never know. But however it went down, it was never your fault. Before you came along, Dad tucked me in at night. He read me stories. I don't remember which ones. I can't remember his exact voice either. It's in my head. I know what his voice feels like, but I can't place its pitch or pattern. Like a voice in a dream. Mom never read me stories, but Dad did. And then you arrived. Another person in the house, and I felt so alone. Worse than Dad's disappearance was Mom's disappearance. But hers was a metaphorical disappearance. Her body was around, but she was absent. Dad was there, but not. Mom wasn't there, but was. You know? She provided nothing. That's unfair. She gave us a house. She put us through school. She fed us. But hugs, touch, smiles, too few. I don't have to tell you, right? I don't think I spent enough time trying to understand her. I definitely tried to reach her, to talk to her, but I don't know that I ever asked her any questions that weren't about me. I was too young and bitter to say, "You look tired, Mom. Do you want to talk about it?" Steve tells me not to beat myself up over it. It's not the child's job to take care of the parent. But it is humanity's job to check in on each other. Of course, I never did. I don't think you did either. And we'll never know what her life was really like. But how could I think of her life when she was so distant? I resented you for her inadequacies, Cecil. I resented having to be your de facto guardian, helping you with your homework, driving you around. cooking for you, cleaning up after you, disciplining you, and you were never grateful and always belligerent towards me. I hated you, but only because we were both still children. Years and years, I didn't hide my anger well, and you didn't either. Even into adulthood, the way you picked on Steve in public on your radio show, you didn't fight with me because you were scared of me. I'm sure my demeanor, my face that reminded you of our mother, you wanted no part of that. But Steve, he was a gentle proxy, a nice man who would take your abuse, an easy target for you to unleash your pain. I understand, because I did it too. We all have scapegoats for our pain, and Steve is full of grace. Thank you, babe. We sucked as siblings, Cecil, but we're growing up and we're starting to suck less. I love our game nights, like tonight. I love our family outings.
Yeah, of course.
I love getting to see you and Carlos and Esteban so much. I love how involved you've been in Janice's life and how welcoming you've been to Steve the last few years. I forgive you. I forgive myself. And I hope you will too. Sorry.
Cats.
This shit always makes me cry.
Well, you can hear now, yeah.
I hope you finally remember what I'm telling you tonight. I don't know how many times I've told you this all before, and you never retain any of it. But I'll tell it again. Dad returned when you were old enough to start drawing and telling stories. Like I said, he wasn't physically there, but he was present, you know? When you were about 4 or 5, you really took to your crayons and watercolors. You draw the family, the house, the sun. You drew pictures of our dog, Backgammon. I'm not gonna lie, they weren't great drawings, but I couldn't stop looking at them. They were so familiar. I dug up a box of my old drawings and discovered you and I had drawn the same exact things years apart. You and I had both sketched a large tree, heavy with owls. We didn't have a large tree or owls anywhere near us, but we'd both drawn the same thing. Weird coincidence, I guess. Kids' drawings all start to run together. But then you told me about the hiking trip Dad took us on, just you and me and him, through the redwoods. We caught butterflies and dug holes looking for treasure, and we even saw several owls. The owls made sounds like telephones ringing and vibrating easy chairs. I knew for sure you were lying. Childish tall tales. But then I started having the dreams. Same imagery. Owls, redwoods, digging holes. I sometimes saw other things in my dream. A sitting man with his back turned. A framed photo of the same man next to him. His face unseeable and thin clouds moving dizzyingly fast across the sky. You remember how I would ask you about your dreams and you would tell me you didn't remember them? Then I would ask you about Dad and you would tell me these wild stories. That we had gone to the lake together and fought an octopus. That Dad taught us to make our own hot air balloons. That he picked us up in his soft arms and flew us up to the top of a mountain where we could see the entire valley unfurl below like a dusty rug. That the owls told us to dig a hole beneath a tree and then crawl inside until our shoulders ached and the world smelled like worms and no sunlight could harm us. These stories you told weren't lies or childish fabulations. They were recaps of my own dreams. You were having the same dreams, Cecil, only you thought they were real. Maybe they were real. Maybe I was wrong and you were right. I wanted to believe that. I wanted more than anything for Dad to be real. Once, I got up in the middle of the night. I went to the kitchen for a glass of water, and there was someone sitting in the dining room. It was dark, but I could make out an outline of a man with his back turned. I was too scared to approach him to say anything. I didn't even want to move for fear he'd hear me and jerk around. I watched him, breathless, for a long time. Then he stood. I froze. And he turned. I shut my eyes before I could see his face. I heard him shout my name. I screamed. And when I finally opened my eyes, he was gone. Across the table was our mother. Again, it was dark, but the ember of her cigarette lit up her face. She didn't look at me. Pretended I wasn't there. I went back to bed, and we never spoke of it. I don't think I dreamed that. But Dad seemed to only come to me in dreams. Maybe that was the only place I could be open to receiving him. I don't know what Dad is. In my dreams and in my drawings, I used to think he was an owl. A bunch of owls. I think that's called a parliament of owls. Like a murder of crows, a parliament of owls, a calamity of abbeys, a paucity of parents. It's more likely, though, that he's just a ghost, and he's haunting us. I was always scared to dream about him. I couldn't sleep well for days after one of those dreams. I don't watch horror movies, but I know enough about them to be terrified of vengeful spirits. Is he vengeful, though? The way he shouted my name when I closed my eyes that night, Abby! Scared me, but he might have just been surprised, like he was shocked to see me there. Abby! He wanted me to go back to bed. He didn't want me to see him and Mom arguing or whatever they were doing. Who knows? The separation between worlds is not a veil, but mud. He can't make himself as visible or tangible as he wants. I wish he could. But you, Cecil, when you were younger, your contact with him was much more substantial. Maybe you're the key to reaching him. Or do you not want to? I don't want to pressure you to... Oh, wow. Can you hear that? It sounds like rain. Steve, hon, can you pop your head out the front door and check the weather?
I'm disappointed we didn't last. I guess we just moved along too fast. But living isn't easy when you live in the past. I'm off to Easter Island tonight. Giant statues of sun so bright. You can see all the stars at night. There's no one there to tell me about the guy that you like. Easter Island, Easter Island, oh.
Starting or growing your own business can be intimidating and lonely at times. Your to-do list may feel endless with new tasks, and lists can easily begin to overrun your life. So finding the right tool that not only helps you out, but simplifies everything as a built-in business partner can be a game changer. For millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. From household names like Gymshark, Rare Beauty, and Heinz, to brands just getting started. Shopify has hundreds of ready-to-use templates that can help you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand's style. And you can tackle all the important tasks in one place, from inventory to payments to analytics and more. No need to save multiple websites or try to figure out what platform is hosting the tool that you need. And if people haven't heard about your brand, you can get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you, with easy-to-run email and social media campaigns to reach customers wherever they're scrolling or strolling. Start your business today with the industry's best business partner, Shopify, and start hearing. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm. That's shopify.com/realm.
Honey, what are you listening to?
Mom!
Your teen might not share everything with you, but teens share everything with each other. And certain everyday behaviors, like sharing
anything, he wants us to know him, to not be forgotten. Though you have forgotten him so many times. I say ghost, but not the ghost of horror movies. A real ghost. The kind that actually exists. Ghosts are watermarks, stains. They're the wear and tear of repetition over millennia in our physical world. Hiking trails are ghosts. Footpaths for months, years, centuries past. The laughter and applause night after night, decade after decade in an old theater still resonates through the floorboard and roof beams. The vibrations are ghosts. Dreams are ghosts. Language is a ghost. Faces of children are ghosts. People laugh, cry, get angry, fall in love, and those emotions are like tire tracks on their souls. But unlike tire tracks, people can't see these marks, so they can't understand them. They get scared, like me, or avoidant, like you. Ghosts would be a lot easier if they just looked and talked like a person. But they're not people. They're ghosts. And now I want to go back to what I said about Mom earlier. I didn't ever try to understand her. I tried to understand Dad through her. You and I, Cecil, we're haunted by him. We've talked about it a million times. But he haunted Mom too. I don't know what he did to her or what he was like around her. I'll never get that information. I can only guess. It's not incomprehensible that two living physical people could haunt each other. She never shared anything about their relationship. She grew quieter and more solitary in her later years. She was angry at the world, at us, at herself, and we never got the chance to be with her in those feelings. We never really tried. I've tried spending more time with Dad in my dreams and in my art, but he's...
Yeah, I really like the way they did
God, he's impossible. Just give me a straight answer, man. A word, a gesture, a look at your face even. I think he was like this in real life, Cecil. I think his ambiguity, his vagueness, is why Mom hated talking about him. He's not enigmatic or magical. He is fucking frustrating. All these cryptic images. But I don't think there's much to understand about an absent father. I'm looking for Mom's ghost now. But I don't think she wants to be found. I think she's happier, far away from the ghost of our father. That's my journey, though. You should keep looking for Dad in dreams and in drawings if that's what you want. Like I said, I don't think he means any harm. I don't think he means anything at all. He's a smudge, a haze, a feeling, a tire track. But he is there. Now, can we please finish our game of Scrabble? It's my turn to try and spell the name of God. Let's see. Off of your M, Carlos, I'll play Akimitsu. Ooh, that's worth 33 points. And loud footsteps in the attic. So close. Your turn, Cecil. Cecil? Cecil! Better not have forgotten my story again.
Okay, got this one.
Welcome to Night Vale is a production of Night Vale Presents. It is written by Joseph Fink, Jeffrey Craner, and Bree Williams. It is produced by Disparition. The voice of Abby was Ashley Atkinson. Original music by Disparition. All of it can be found at disparition.bandcamp.com. Today's weather was Easter Island by The Violet Hourglass. Find out more at the link in the show notes. Comments, questions, email us at info@welcometonightvale.com or follow us on Instagram and on Tumblr at Night Vale Official. We now have a TikTok at Night Vale Official as well, so check that out. Most importantly, check out welcometonightvale.com, where we have a twice-monthly mailing list that is the best way to keep up to date directly from us to you. Abandon social media and take to the seas of email newsletters. Today's proverb: dress for the job you want, senior accountant, not for the job you have, naked accountant.
I have to check on the wash again. Oh, okay. That blanket is looking purple. Hopefully the fixative does its job about, and keeps it purple for a long time.
Good episodes, too.
What can we learn from the best and worst of great television? Like, for example, is it really a bad episode, or do people just hate...
Hello, Night Vale. It is me, Jeffrey Craner, and I would like to tell you about Camp Night Vale. We're planning to do a weekend-long writers' workshop March 5th through 7th in Santa Fe, New Mexico. That's in 2027, this coming year. This workshop is for writers of all kinds who want to spend a weekend in the desert doing guided writing exercises, participating in group discussions and readings, and other fun, cool things that are yet to be announced. This workshop is taught by me and Joseph Fink, my Night Vale co-creator, and will be for a maximum of 20 in-person students. Registration opens June 16th for paid Patreon members, and if you are a Weird Scout level or higher, you get $50 off your tuition. Registration opens to the general public on June the 18th. More info at welcometonightvale.com/Camp Night Vale. We will see you in the desert. Also, make sure to pre-order The Nudge, a brand new horror novella by my Night Vale co-creator Joseph Fink. The Nudge is a brilliant and frightening news story in the tradition of Stephen King or Shirley Jackson. It's about a wounded man who checks into a roadside hotel. He's running from something, but as the story unfolds, he begins to question if he's run far enough. The print version of The Nudge will feature original illustrations by Jessica Hayworth, and the audiobook format is read by Kevin R. Free and Cecil Baldwin. Pre-order The Nudge wherever you get your books. Also, if you want to keep up on the latest things that we're doing, like writing a cool horror novella or doing a writer's workshop in Santa Fe or live tours or new merch, whatever, just get on our mailing list. Go to welcometonightvale.com to sign up. It's only twice monthly. We don't sell your data. We just want people to know what we're up to. And hey, thanks.
The Antiquarium of Sinister Happenings and Odd Goings-On. Step into a mysterious curio shop where every relic hides a dark secret. The Antiquarium of Sinister Happenings is a weekly, multi-award-winning, full-cast horror anthology featuring the talents of Mike Flanagan, Kate Siegel, David Dastmalchian, Jessica Roth, Devin Sawa, Jocelyn Donahue, and more. But The Antiquarium is more than just a horror podcast. With hidden messages, secret clues, decoder rings, and even a scratch and sniff episode, The Antiquarium is more than a podcast. It's an experience. If you love atmospheric horror, immersive storytelling, and mysteries that extend beyond the final scene, your next obsession is waiting. Find The Antiquarium of Sinister Happenings on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen, and begin your journey at theobsidiancovenant.com from the Bloody Disgusting Podcast Network.
Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life, on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Love hurts. Love scars. Love depletes bone mass over time. Ask your doctor if love is right for you. Welcome to Night Vale. Before the Industrial Revolution, sleep was divided into two phases. In the middle of the night, people would get out of bed for a few hours and do little chores before going back to sleep again. Stoke the fires, check on the farm animals, tend to the sowing, write a letter by candlelight, chant an incantation, conjure the dead, whittle. In modern times, many of us still wake up suddenly at around, say, 1:42 a.m. And we know that for some unknown reason, we're going to be awake for the next couple of hours. But we don't do little chores or write letters anymore. We lie there with our eyes closed, helplessly waiting for sleep to return. We listen to fake crime podcasts or ska music on low volume to keep us company in the dark. We battle thoughts about mortality, debts, responsibilities, regretting stupid things we once said even though we're pretty sure no one but us remembers that we said them in the first place. We think about different points in time where we could have made choices that might have completely altered the trajectory of our lives. We don't necessarily know what those choices were, or what might have been different, or even if it would have been better or worse, but it haunts us just the same. Sometimes, if we get too restless, we do get out of bed in the middle of the night like our ancestors did. We wander into the living room, stumbling over our son's electric train set. We pause as the caboose clatters across the tile floor, and we hear echoes of coyotes howling in the gulch through the open window. We grab the 2-day-old leftover cassoulet from Tourniquet out of the fridge. We sit down on the couch. We turn on the TV. Which brings me to last night. Listeners, around 1:42 a.m., I turned on the television to local ABC affiliate Channel 7. At first, I didn't understand what I was looking at. Then I realized I was looking at myself. Specifically, myself at age 5. Sitting next to me was my sister Abby, age 9. We were in a group of about a dozen children, all clapping along with a strange song. Then the song became familiar to me. I started mumbling along to the words and found that I knew them all by heart. Plague of insects, bursts of flame, it's time to play a little game. Oh, more on this after the headlines. There's a yellow warning in effect from the water department, which means do not drink. The reservoir has reached hazardous levels of algae, toxins, and animal blood. Residents may still use the water to wash dishes, water lawns, and brush teeth. Children may still run freely through the sprinklers, innocent and heartless, but remember to provide them with extra towels before they run back into the house so they don't track gory footprints across your nice white carpeting. Those stains will never come out. In other news, the Night Vale Zoo suffered a security breach last night, resulting in all cages being unlocked and opened wide. Be on the lookout for tigers, bears, snakes, venomous spiders, crocodiles, killer bees, and one pterodactyl roaming loose in the streets and skies, respectively. Also, if you've used a credit card at the Night Vale Zoo lately, be sure to check your accounts for unauthorized purchases. And finally, a huge explosion has occurred in the vacant lot out back of the Ralphs. A gas leak from the boiler room is thought to be the culprit, judging from the smell and shimmery air and frenzied insistence by the gas company that someone let them into the building immediately. But as the Ralphs is closed due to manager Gary's vacation, that's not going to happen anytime soon. More explosions are expected throughout the day, probably with increasing force and impact. Witnesses report that following the explosion, a second hole opened up in the pavement of the vacant lot, and distorted voices can now be heard calling for help from deep below the earth. Ralph's corporate has urged citizens not to attempt communication with these voices. Subterranean cries for help are almost always predator-decoy behavior. It's called aggressive mimicry. It's meant to lure you in using your own sympathetic nature against you. Do not fall for it, and don't confuse it with the pre-existing hole in the lot where voices invite passersby to come inside and nestle. That hole is fine and normal, and it's perfectly okay to listen to those voices. Well, looks like a pretty slow news day, so I can continue to leisurely describe my television viewing experience last night. As all the children, myself and Abby included, sang the final verse of the strange song, a man appeared on screen, singing along with us. His arms were raised up as if he were conducting a great orchestra instead of a grubby circle of tone-deaf children. He wore a false beard, a monocle, and a felt hat with a turkey feather in it. A matted fur vest over a stained tunic, a walking cane with a glowing orb on top. In the orb, the swirling mists of the creation and destruction of planets. Tears spilled onto his cheeks as he grinned with a toothless mouth. "Who's ready for the riddle of the day?" he asked, and the children, myself and Abby included, screamed with such intensity I had to mute the television. By this time, I knew what I was seeing, listeners. It was a decades-old rerun of Uncle Jasper's Wasteland, a local kids show that my sister and I were obsessed with as children. Regardless of our squabbles and misunderstandings, Uncle Jasper was the one thing Abby and I could always agree on. We were even chosen to be in the live studio audience several times, including the episode they were airing last night. I remember now that it was taped in that old factory out in the scrublands, the one that spews black smoke at night, the one that no one remembers having been built, where Dr. Jennifer Newport currently has her pediatrics practice. You know, that old factory that suddenly appeared about 6 weeks ago, but has also always existed, even before there was a town or people here. Today's riddle is a visual one, Uncle Jasper said as I unmuted the television, which means you have to use your optic nerves, all the children shouted. That's right, said Uncle Jasper. I'm going to show you some pictures, and you have to tell me what they all have in common. The winner gets to pick a prize from the bottomless box of shiny things. Before I continue this story, I better get to this story about product safety recalls. I'm told they're time sensitive. Recalled all prescription drugs from the CVS at Skillman and Central Drive.
I might also look at the other ones. That's there to remind me to see if there's, because there are some characters that didn't
actual medical training and have just been putting random pills into random containers and hoping.
But I can only attack if they have no attacks as of when I find them as my role.
Arlo said, and they're blessed with the ability to talk a good game in an interview. They expressed their sincere apologies to anyone who has experienced unwanted side effects or died recently as a result of this fake it till you make it approach to pharmaceuticals. Arlo has been dishonorably discharged from the CVS and is seeking new employment if anyone knows of anything. According to Arlo, they're very good at everything. Recalled. Bacon. Independent laboratory tests via 23andMe revealed that the DNA profile of the current stock of Night Vale bacon meat is all a match for a man named Adrian Nicolaou, born in Bucharest, Romania in 1910 and died in Chicago, Illinois in 1971. The bacon contains neither pork, nor turkey, nor rattlesnake meat as advertised. Recalled. A nightmare you had 2 nights ago. Not the specific details, but the feeling of mounting dread, escalating to a sustained and overwhelming terror with no release. Recalled. Pink Lady apples. Ugh, absolutely chock full of razor blades. Be safe out there. And remember, the same rule of thumb applies to consumer products as it does to your relationships. When in doubt, throw it out. Now, back to Uncle Jasper's picture riddle. All the children in the studio audience hushed as the camera began rapidly cutting between different images, almost faster than the human eye can comprehend. I could only make out a few of them myself. A melting ice cream cone, the final moments of a dying star, an ancient city shimmering in the heat, a pocket watch ticking, An old woman staring hungrily at a bowl of soup, a group of vultures circling a cloudy sky. When the images finally ceased, a small child in the group raised his hand. Listeners, it was me. Uncle Jasper grinned even wider, tears pouring freely down his face now. He pointed at me with the strobing orb of his cane. Yes? What do you think the images have in common, little boy? He asked me. Is it, entropy? I guessed in my small 5-year-old voice. Uncle Jasper wiped his red, glittering eyes. Of course, he murmured. The universal state of randomness leading to a chaotic descent into disorder. Mr. Randolph, get the bottomless box of shiny things for this clever young lad to choose his prize. As some of you may remember, Mr. Randolph was a character also played by Uncle Jasper, which involved him putting on a different hat and a second monocle. He had at least 30 different characters on the show, and he played all the parts himself. Just, incredibly talented guy. Now, listeners, I have very little memory of this moment in real life, but the adult me watched through the screen in my living room as the young me put my hand into the box and pulled out my prize. It was a shard of silver metal from a jet engine turbine, crudely fashioned into the shape of a bunny rabbit. Uncle Jasper was famous for upcycling scraps of the airplane wreckage that littered the sand wastes and handcrafting them into fun prizes for the kids. It wasn't exactly pretty, but it was special. Ouch, the small me said, smiling with pride as the jagged rabbit nicked my soft flesh. Abby reached over and carefully took the figure from me, wrapping it up and placing it in her neon green fanny pack. She patted me on the head and told me I'd done a good job. I beamed up at my big sister. She put her arm around my shoulders. I'll file down the edges for you when we get home so it's not as sharp, I heard her murmur through the TV screen. My eyes misted up a little. Not the me on TV, but the me in the living room. Then Uncle Jasper introduced some cartoons, which he had hand-drawn himself using grease translucent napkins from the Moonlight All-Night Diner as animation cells. Just a true Renaissance man.
Really cute.
Anyway, I watched the rest of the show, ate the rest of the cold cassoulet, and went back to bed. But the experience got me thinking, where is Uncle Jasper now? His show was canceled over 25 years ago, and we've never heard anything about him since. I searched through the obituary archive and couldn't find his name. Same thing with the property records. He was such an important figure to the children of this community for decades. He was definitely my first role model, and probably many of yours as well. I'd love to track him down if he's still around and maybe have him on the show, or at least interview him off the air, or just buy him a cup of coffee. And if he did pass away or leave town, I'd like to know that too. So I'm just putting it out there in case anyone knows anything. Uncle Jasper, if you're listening, please give your old pal Little Cecil a call down at the station. Oh wow, that was fast. Fingers crossed, listeners. While I answer this, let's go to the weather.
I got the ending I deserve. I watched it happen. Couldn't have stopped the landing worse. I watched it happen, and now from down at the bottom I look up and see blue.
I mean, you still have a bordering problem, but like, yeah. Ah, yes, of course. Their durability wears out, and you have to either repair them or discard or craft new ones. Yes, of course. Yeah, this is true. We just need to play. Is that for like real, or you just like faked it? Okay. Because for a second I was like, that would require an insane amount of handling. Were you chewing on them? Oh, absolutely insane. So,
starting or growing your own business can be intimidating and lonely at times. Your to-do list may feel endless with new tasks, and lists can easily begin to overrun your life. So finding .com/realm. That's shopify.com/realm.
Welcome back, everyone. I won't keep you in suspense. That was not Uncle Jasper on the phone. It was my sister, Abby. We haven't spoken since our last family game night, so that was a nice surprise. It's a funny thing. She told me that she actually woke up at 1:42 a.m. last night and happened to catch the exact same rerun of Uncle Jasper's Wasteland. We talked about her memories of the show. She asked me if I still have that metal rabbit. I said I vaguely remember playing with it so much that it finally rusted through and disintegrated into orange dust in my hands. We came up with our own theories about where Uncle Jasper is now. Abby thinks he lives in one of the airplane hulls out in the sand wastes, surrounded by a lifetime's worth of his own handmade metal sculptures. I suggested that he still performs his show every day for legions of crows instead of kids. I mean, that would at least explain why all the crows in town constantly recite children's songs and riddles. Either way, we both believe that Uncle Jasper is still alive and still around here somewhere. You can kind of just feel it in the air, don't you think? I wanted to talk with Abby about some other memories from our childhood too, but she's always so touchy on the subject that I decided to avoid it this time. Instead, I asked her about what she's been up to this week. She seemed happy I'd asked. I don't think you've ever asked me about my life in the present tense, Cecil, she said. You usually only want to talk to me about the past. I almost started to argue with her, but then I realized she was right. When I look at Abby, I often see her as a symbol of my past, instead of a person living her own life. So instead of arguing, I apologized. Well, no. I didn't actually apologize. I asked her if she wanted to meet up after I'm off the air and take the kids out for ice cream. And instead of nagging me about how ice cream causes microscopic brain holes, she said yes. Now, of course, Janice is a young woman, not a kid anymore, but no one's too old for ice cream. Esteban just adores ice cream. His favorite flavor at the moment is nacho cheese. Just like his dad. Oh, me, I mean. Carlos's favorite flavor is Cool Ranch. Oh, there's Esteban running around out in the studio parking lot now. He just got dropped off by his after-school babysitter. Oh, hi. Yeah, he can see me through the window, too. He's playing with something out there. Looks like a twisted animal figure of some kind, metallic and glinting in the sun. Walking away from the parking lot is an older man hunched over using a cane. I'm waving at him, too.
Awesome.
Hi. Oh, you didn't notice me. Hey, he's gone now. But it's always good to see our senior citizens getting out and about for some exercise and fresh air. Wow, it's a nice evening, isn't it? The sun is setting, the crows are riddling, a distant silver airplane is silently plummeting into the sand wastes. Just beautiful. I hope you can all enjoy it by spending some time with your families too, whatever that looks like for you. Even if that just means yourself. After all, we contain multitudes, as processed meat tycoon Oscar Mayer famously said when asked about the ingredients in his ballpark franks. Stay tuned for the next rerun of Uncle Jasper's Wasteland, possibly on ABC affiliate Channel 7, possibly around 1:42 a.m., possibly co-starring a small forgotten version of yourself. Good night, Night Vale. Good night.
Welcome to Night Vale is a production of Night Vale Presents. It is written by Joseph Fink, Jeffrey Craner, and Bree Williams, and produced by Disparition. The voice of Night Vale is Cecil Baldwin. Original music by Disparition. All of it can be found at disparition.bandcamp.com. This episode's weather was Blue by Emily Henry. Find out more at emilyhenrymusic.com. Comments, questions, email us at info@welcometonightvale.com. or follow us on Instagram and Tumblr at Night Vale Official. We now have a TikTok at Night Vale Official as well, so check that out before it gets banned by the government, because that is the only issue important enough for them to actually pass a law about. Most importantly, check out welcometonightvale.com, where we have a twice-monthly mailing list that is the best way to keep up to date directly from us to you. The government hasn't banned hearing from your favorite Weird Town podcast. Not yet, anyway. Today's proverb. That song's a bop, an absolute jam. I just can't stop dancing to it. Help. My legs are collapsing underneath me, and my lungs can't keep up, and still, this infernal song has me dancing and dancing. This cursed song slaps. Hi, we're Meg Bashwiner.
And Joseph Fink.
Of Welcome to Night Vale. And on our new show, The Best Worst, we explore the golden age of television.
To do that, we're watching the IMDb viewer-rated best and worst episodes of classic TV shows.
The episode of Star Trek, where Beverly Crusher has sex with a ghost. The episode of The X-Files, where Scully gets attacked by a vicious house cat.
And also the really good episodes, too.
What can we learn from the best and worst of great television? Like, for example, is it really a bad episode, or do people just hate women?
The Best Worst, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, Night Vale. It is me, Jeffrey Craner, and I am here to tell you about Camp Night Vale. Yeah, we're planning a weekend-long writer's workshop March 5th through 7th, 2027 in Santa Fe, New Mexico. This workshop is for writers of all kinds who want to spend a weekend in the desert doing guided writing exercises, participating in group discussions and readings, and other fun, artsy, wordy things that are yet to be announced. This workshop will be taught by me and my Night Vale co-creator, Joseph Fink, and will be for a maximum of 20 in-person students. Registration opens June 16th for our paid Patreon members. There's a $50 off tuition for Weird Scout or higher members. Registration opens to the general public on June the 18th. More info at welcometonightvale.com/Camp Night Vale. See y'all in the desert. Also, make sure you pre-order The Nudge, a brand new horror novella by my Night Vale co-creator, Joseph Fink. T. Kingfisher says The Nudge is a perfect little bite-sized horror. Some of these scenes are going to live in my head for a long, long time. The print version of The Nudge will feature original illustrations by Jessica Hayworth, and the audiobook format is read by Kevin R. Free and Cecil Baldwin. Pre-order The Nudge wherever you get your books. Finally, you should consider joining the Night Vale Patreon. Like I said, You get early announcement on things like Camp Night Vale and live show tours. Plus, we have ongoing book clubs, monthly hangouts with me and Joseph, quarterly bonus episodes, ad-free feeds, and much, much more. Our Patreon is what keeps this podcast going, so consider a $5 or $10 a month membership and get so much more Night Vale in your life. And hey, thanks.
The Antiquarium of Sinister Happenings and Odd Goings-On. Step into a mysterious curio shop where every relic hides a dark secret. The Antiquarium of Sinister Happenings is a weekly, multi-award-winning, full-cast horror anthology featuring the talents of Mike Flanagan, Kate Siegel, David Dastmalchian, Jessica Roth, Devin Sawa, Jocelyn Donahue, and more. But The Antiquarium is more than just a horror podcast. With hidden messages, secret clues, decoder rings, and even a scratch and sniff episode, The Antiquarium is more than a podcast. It's an experience. If you love atmospheric horror, immersive storytelling, and mysteries that extend beyond the final scene, your next obsession is waiting. Find The Antiquarium of Sinister Happenings on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen, and begin your journey at theobsidiancovenant.com from the Bloody Disgusting Podcast Network.
Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life, on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
It's hard to draw cross legs.
It used to take 2 to tango, but these days it takes 15 on account of the economy. Welcome to Night Vale. I hate to start out with bad news, so I won't. I have really bad news. But I think we should keep things positive around here. Instead, let's focus on some good news. John Peters, you know, the farmer, he says that he has grown the biggest ear of imaginary corn in history. He said that the previous record was 1 foot 3 inches, imagined by a farmer down in Argentina. But that just this week, he imagined an ear of corn that was 1 foot 6 inches.
I'll have to listen to this one later because it's almost time to sign off. Wish I could like put a little bookmark here or something. You know, I could at least mark it as listened, which doesn't really do anything. Well, I'm gonna try to sketch the rest of this hair and then I'm gonna sign off. Put a strap under here. Strange bikini top design, but okay. The under boob 5,000. Alright, it's a good start to this one. Let's do a save. What's that? Okay. That's good, I was able to actually finish a goal that time of finishing the first art fight attack and then starting the second one. I really should have posture checked more. Because now my back feels weird. Okay, that's fine. Just stretch it out. Alright. Sign off time. Anyone hanging out, and drink of water and do a stretch and save your progress and pet your cat and all the other stuff. And finish your laundry and get the good sleepy times. And do your own chiropractory. I think it's stupid that chiropractic is called chiropractic. It doesn't, like, it sounds stupid. It should be called chiropractory or something. Anyway, good night.